So that makes me so happy that you guys support that. Everything is I'm so blessed. Faith, I know it's such a small milestone compared to you at 160K, but I'm almost to 1K.
All right. I think there's a wasp flying around too. All right. Maybe we'll even shoot here. That's copyright. home. Well, don't try to let 'em. Look, Jose. Nightfall, the stars come out. With the stars come, the old fire is about. The fire is about. apart, you on the ground. See bells and cockroaches, let them later on. All I have to do is down, have to do is down, do is down. Night, work 'em out, and can't tell in the wind about. West, you see the fire from, you see the God, and it's slowly burning out. Come for the ancient fire, and all the streams from the senses. I like that. I like that. Just trying to have fun with it. These are all just variants of yeah, it's all. What when you try to fight with different things on it. So no matter what you do, there's one thing or another. I want to tell you all this shit. I want to do a specific thing. Trying to do a specific thing, except it's not going to work without just sitting, without being able to sit still. I can't do that. I can't do that. And have to do is be able to stay in a certain amount of something. We'll do the thing. Yeah, because I can't use any of the parts to hold the thing together. Right. I need to be able to have the hands exactly where they are. Actually, it's to be able to hold it and to be able to bring it around in all these parts would make sense, because then it can go around like that. But the thing is, it's got no grip on the leg things or whatever. I absolutely have to change. I could switch to a million other things or talk about something else, but I don't. I actually don't want to. It's weird, when I get to streaming and playing and stuff, because it's as if I'll put up a barrier deliberately so that anything that I'm doing, it has to go through the barrier first. And even that's while doing it live. And the thing is, there's a million different things at a million different times, all that could be brought to the surface. And it's like, or like it's, or if you wait, if you have it, and that's the thing. Most people don't. And it's weird looking for that one thing. I'm not going to talk just meaning, just in general. And like any time that I'm not on stream, like even before I came on, there was something that I wanted to talk about or wanted to speak on, and deliberately didn't, because I wanted to. I'm not sure. I think I wanted to do something else. Probably because somebody else was already discussing whatever it was that I felt like talking about. Also, I think I'll just admit that it's the wrong pants to have, like the long john still on, because it's just slipping right off of them. I didn't think it would be that much of a problem. I'm actually going to set this down. All the power it takes in the universe, and actually manually solve the problem. That took less than 30 seconds to fix manually. The whole time I'm sitting there, I was like, well, can't get it to stay where I want. But I catch myself doing that. Like, I obviously just did it, but I mean, I'll see that. I'll be like, wait. Or somebody, I think about it when someone walks into like a living room or something and they go, oh, it's a mess. Except it might just be like a couple pillows or something are in a different position or something. You know what I mean? Or like a blanket. But the thing is, it's something that could be fixed with not even 30 seconds, like bing, 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 bing. And there are a lot of things that could be actually fixed with 30 seconds of doing something else. I'm just going to set this up then properly and really go for whatever it is I'm trying to do. Okay, got that on that. See it on that. Yeah, you can see my hands on that. That's it. That's what I'm doing. No, it's like you need 30 seconds. That's beautiful. It's like, a fill-in or something. It's like no matter what. Like someone's like, oh, I turned that on 30 seconds. It's like, yeah. And for 30 seconds, I did something that is like, the coal and you like squeeze it. It's like, you know, I'm happy with that. And I like, take down my hat, I put that trick in it, put it back up on the wall. You know what I mean? It's like understanding it's manual and it's an illusion. But is it an illusion of sound? Is it a sound illusion? Right? Because it's real in your ear. Hmm. Hmm. I like it. That's she's, I like different sounds, man. I don't know if you can. I like hitting the open sound. Say, okay, this is what I like. Okay, I'm gonna like make something or do something. You know what I mean? It's like okay, like make up something that or it's like it sounds like something, whatever. But yeah, it's like okay, my brain. You know what I mean? No, it wants actually. Next note, it wanted something where I go high, like a function where I've been but like a sharp. If I can hear it in my head though, like and that's my little thing. You know? kept doing open, like, whoa, because you just kept everything tightened up. Like, but ringing off each other. But then you want to leave. Then you want to like run them to go. You want to, Jesse? You want to go boom, bam, boom, bam, jump, boom, boom. Ooh, it's open on the end. That's how I tune it like that, so that if I'm looking for it, it's usually. I feel like I lost a note somewhere in there. Anyway. Anyway. Maybe I just like being live. I wouldn't mind having one other. I get, when I've got so many people writing in on the thing, I don't usually do this, but that's the point. I'm not trying to follow a formula that I've done before, and I'm not holding sacred to, I don't do this or I don't do that. So I will just, I'm not doing anything specific. Hopefully it's not echoing too much. I know I've got that set up on echo. But it might not be. So I've got, I know I've got Kathy and I've got Forever Love, and that's cool. Oh, it's been like half an hour anyway. Cool, yeah. And you know what else? When I sit here, it's like, and I get like, it caused me to smile. But I think because it's like I'm sitting here and I'm like leaning back, like on the Holy Spirit, going, I ain't got nothing bad to say. But it's not because, oh, I'm so welled up with negativity and things I want to share that are negative. No, it's just, I'm quite rather sure that you're aware of sin in the world or happening down in Vegas, happening, somebody, everybody knows there's somebody not treating somebody right. That's the, that that's in that, that rock song or whatever. Happening down and the thing is, it's blues rock too, man. Happening down and happening there tonight. And it's one of the things that it's like, and it doesn't matter whether it's like whether it's a lawyer, doctor, anyone in the gentry. You know what I mean? It would have been probably on the old voters list. Maybe not. Who knows? It would have been a doctor just. It's like, I just renting my doctor's place. Like, oh, do you get a vote? Like, no, I don't actually own property. But anyway, no, that's the oldest thing in the. Because what is the law and the prophets according to one who's always been and always shall be? That's right. That's right. Do unto others, and it does mean love. And I mean, how much? What's the most you could love somebody to death? So, and all you can do is try. So, and then Christ is like, make an effort, and it's not. Don't make a suicidal effort because that's done. That's over with. So, like, our sacrifice isn't to look to dive, and that's the thing. That's the other thing too, or else it would be. It would be. It's like oh, quick! Can we rush? Because other people are like, can we rush to sacrifice? Because that's the thing. When the Lord to give up your body, a living sacrifice, He certainly does not mean, and He does at the same time. But He doesn't. He doesn't, and He doesn't mean seek a cross to get up on. Because He did that already. It's like you don't need to do that because your sins are paid, and so you don't. So in other words, because He wants you to honestly lift up your cross in front of other people, so that yes, He is still represented. Now, not on the cross, and that's the thing. He like people. It's like, hey, you're no different than us. Where's, what's the reason for? It seems or just you have joy in your spirit, or thankful for the things you've got, or you don't seem contentment or whatever, or even a satisfaction that seems to be out of this world. And it's like, well, that's because the satisfaction that you have truly is out of this world. Now the thing being, other people think not that this world was not created for you to dwell in a perfect state, in what would be called, and not charmed either, because charmed has a connotation with it that I realize is from the snake charmer. Like that in essence would kind of make it seem like to the snake that they're somewhere where they're not, or that they're like at the same time. You might be like, no, I didn't. Just that the animal can't help but enjoy the vibration, but I would think that no, doesn't the vibrations actually hit the certain like what would be the cochlear, the vibration as it receives of the animal, isn't it that it hits it on what would be considered a pheromonic level, like even though it's not saying no, it's not at all, okay, but still it would be considered parallel to it being hit with a pheromone that says there's an opportunity to mate in front of you, do the dance. Yeah, because it's glorious, still a miracle, but it's a serpent. How do you make the serpent dance? It's like, well, I can either take out this scent. What is it? It's pheromone from the female snake. I present it to the male, and it will begin doing its thing. And then I can stay off, and then I'll do my do according to how it goes back and forth. If I do it like, or I can douse it beforehand, or I can, and then play my tune. And since I know the vibration that it considers, that's exactly that's what it is, though. It's like, and whether it's like, oh, it's not mating, it's actually this, whatever. You know how to tap into something that is inside of the animal. That's like, and so I'm like, oh, you've trained it. Okay, you did not train it to do that. It already does that. you happen to be able to unlock that. Because in animals, birds, things like that, the things that you get them to do are programs that they're already programmed with genetically. That's right. But anyway, not that this. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, I want to be a mistake and this, that, and oh yeah, yeah, just at peace, basically. Yeah, like there's nothing wrong with being at peace. Um, that's basically what I wanted. Like, I could talk about some things and begin doing, like, my thing where I tap into it. But yeah, I feel good. You're like, hey, what's going on? You're like, it's like, well, I have peace. Now, like, I like, I don't know, like, I like playing. Like, I want to work guitar. Like, the thing that I'm going for, not that it matters. Like, the thing that sounds best is if I play something like a note and I sing with it. Like, it always sounds the best to me. Anyway, I always feel that sounds the best and richest to me. I hardly ever do that, even though I know that. But I mean, Oh yeah, see, and it's like that's the other thing. It's like don't forget, like it's just like when I was playing that thing, like just doing the thing they did with the harmonics. Um, just doing that. That's open, See, that's still just that. Well, that actually sounded like I went backwards. Like, but that's because it's the. And there's the thing about like the playing how you play the blues and stuff because it's like when you play stuff like when okay, and that's the same note. Where is it? No, it isn't actually. Mm, I guess it's a little bit lower. And that. Oh, it's second. Okay, so I've got this note here, the same as this note here. And this note here is the same as this note here. The seventh is the same as the fifth note here. There you go. But that is what I'm going for. Like, so, because this note is the same as this note. And it's the same as this note. And that's why I can do them. Because they're all harmonies of each other. And this one, I just throw that in extra, it's on the other ones over here. Like, so it's really well, and it doesn't matter. doing that because it sounds neat. Sounds neat, you know. Maybe. Anyway, you can make all these beats, you know, like. And the thing is, you can like. Anyways, I think. You make it as good as you want. Because you've got it, because you've got a tune that open, you know what I'm saying? But that's the whole point. There's a whole bunch of combinations. You can do anything. And that's like adding that. That's the thing. You get one thing you like, and you're like, hey, can I add an open to that? So it sounds like. you get, you know what I mean? Just like for anything, it's like, you're like, hey, that sounds nice. See, and I just go back to that open. And you keep on doing answer, like, re-answer, like to anything that you, but tuning it so that it's like that, like that. Like if you're sitting there wondering, oh, how is that? It's interesting to know if you never knew that, or if you're wondering, or it's interesting to know. Oh, it's tuned. Same as this one. That's the thing, though. You know, you can start from there. It sounds nice, you know. It does. I guess it's a way for not to get stuck either, right? Anytime I pick up the guitar, it's like, hey. And then if I feel like I want to inject some emotion into something I'm saying, usually, if it's natural and it's there, I'll put it together into something and usually say it or whatever, and then I'll have it and it'll be a song. You know? But that's the way to do it. I like writing when I've got it. There's no reason not to, because it's your music, but no reason not to write it with that open. Because then you know, it makes it so that for me, like when I sing, I don't know, it goes along with it. But the thing is, when people can, it's okay, well, great, I'm lucky, like, or I'm blessed because I got that voice. Oh, yeah, that's the thing. Maybe I'll try a little example of it. That's the thing I can use any of this. Whoa, yeah, I'll do like, whoa, watching, watching, when time goes by, watching, when, whoa, I was looking, when the like that, you see, and then you can sing over top of like all that stuff. That's just how like I do something where I just want to lay it down into a box. But like, see that, I could lay that down, and if I wanted to, I could write, like, I could sit down and just write lines of poetry that rhyme. You do that, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's, a lot of times I just like coming out and working on, like, you know what I mean, just practice, like. And then, and just practice up and just make sure that I got. Like, I want to just follow stuff. Others, you hear me about. I like doing stuff like that. Like, that's the little thing that I do a lot. But see, like stuff like that. Like, I like that. Still listening, I'm bringing the content as quick as a freak should be in 2026. Come on, come on, come on. Like, do they want to see the goods? Don't want to get it. Age restrict. You know what I mean? It's like, don't show nothing on the thunder wax. Don't say it's nothing. It's just turtle wax for waxing the car. You know what I'm saying? Out waxing, out maxing. Waxing the car, waxing the car. I'm a car guy. I'm out waxing the car, waxing the car. I like waxing the car. I like waxing my car. I like waxing my car. Mazda's are. I like waxing my car. I like waxing my car. Chocolate. Yeah, right on. Yeah, that was cool. Hey, it's like an hour and a half. No, but and the other time I want to jump on and just like get like. Like, or maybe it's because like I should try. Yeah, even patient. All right, okay. I'm gonna go for it. I'm going for it. Okay. I do. Like that, like that. No, easy. You can get all the beats you want out of it. You know, I mean, that's how you make it up. You got to like me in the background going, oh, okay, you need something on that. Like, do it. Like, wait, how do you do that old Southern? It's like, I like that. Just, like old timey feel, right? Like I hear that, it's like, hmm. Right on, man. Well, I've got, that was a good. I like to just get out the guitar and play and do like a practice. And you like, if you wonder, what do you do sometimes when I'm not, if I'm playing, I'm not airing. A lot of times, something like that. Like you're like, oh, what do you do? It's like I'll just jam out, have a little bit of fun. Just get a little time. because at the end of the day, it is a tool that I initially picked up because I enjoyed it, and I thought I enjoyed it so much that I'd like to be able to literally like manipulate the sound if I could a bit more in order to be able to like push that button that I felt got pushed when I was listening to music, the pleasure button, you know? It's like, hey, if I get that, if I feel that way while listening to music, I think I'd enjoy making it, especially with that. And the thing is, if I please myself, I've really accomplished what it is that I truly, I'll cap outside, you know what I mean? It's like, if people be like, now that's honest. You picked it up and you're playing because you wanted to satisfy yourself. It's very honest. Now, the fact that you were like, hey, I'm going to show others what I do because I've putting around long enough that maybe somebody else just, it's like, yeah, putting around, playing around. It's definitely part of the method. It's definitely a part that, you should take part and enjoy, I had to sit down and play. I just play for hours and hours, a lot of music before I was able to just sit down and play something that, you're kicking around and tooling with and shaping and sitting down just going, okay, what do I got in me? Let's try and put that into something, A lot of times we'll just be kicking on something and then, playing that in a loop while saying a couple of verses if you've got them written already. And that's one thing that I haven't done as much of lately is having like a prepared verse or whatever ready to go on my end with it. Like something that I got. What if I went and looked in like stuff that I've done like for clips and whatnot, like just the last month, I'd probably be able to pull out 10 to 20 minutes. That's the thing. Even if it was like 10 to 20 minutes, it's like that's out of that you're able. It's like that's like that's a lot of quality material when it's all rocked up. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go. I really do enjoy being live. Feels good. And on the playback, it's never as bad as it always seems when you're live, thinking you need to do more. And it's like, no. I'll do more later on. Not today, maybe tomorrow. But no. Either adding like a verse or something deliberately. See how, You know, I got a verse in one of the things I'm playing. You know, you're like, hey, I recognize that. You know, but he's adding some lyrics to something. Or I'll go ahead and throw regular 6 strings back on. And sing a bunch of them. Either way, I'm doing all right. I'm thankful, you know. And by choosing, but when I'm waking up, by spiritually, it's like there's um, like you don't have to hate people. You can love. Like, and then you might be, oh, this person did this and that. Yeah, and so do we occasionally. And so that they're just meaning, doesn't point, try. The spirit tries not to, but you don't have to spend any of your energy or power on hating people, or like staying angry at somebody, or like you can just using like what is to you your common sense to not join someone and acknowledge like the things that they do that would make you hate them. Understand, no, you don't hate them, you're upset because you know what it is that they're hurting. They're hurting a love that is, well, number one, this innocent love, like, and if anything took on that which isn't innocent in us. Like, it wasn't like, oh, he became, took on sin because he needed, no, it's like for us. So it's like, you're free to, it's like, hey, even, and that's the thing, the Lord's like, if you're sitting there going like, hey, I want to really dislike that person, the Lord's like, because of what they do. And you're like, yeah. And then point the same thing you do. Oh, right. Now, whether they're forget or not, that doesn't matter. If you think the Lord's like, you don't know if that person's forget, you don't know their heart, you know what I mean? And whatnot and so forth. But because of that, like, I think you get it. You don't tire yourself like thinking, oh, I've got to hate that person, or thinking, oh no, or like I really respect something that person does that is a sinner. Like, it's like because we're all sinners. So it's like if you're like, because that person did that sin, I can't enjoy this or that, or like like if that person's a farmer, I can no longer enjoy food or produce because, or like I can no longer, like that person owns an orchard, I can no longer eat apples because that guy did something, like did a sin. Like, just meaning like you can always trying to loosen it up for you. If people are saying, or legalism, like throwing that at you, going like, oh, because this is associated with that, and trying to bring some legalism into, once again, calling things that aren't evil, like things that aren't like evil, like a sin, or just if you're sitting there and you're like, oh, I want to love, or like honestly, you get up and you're like, oh, love everybody, and it's like you're sitting there going, oh, that thing, and it's like you can hate the sin. And that's the thing too. You can polarize in yourself that way as well. In myself, I want to polarize myself. I don't want that sin in me because I do it too. I've got, and then to find that parallel with that other person that you're like, it's like, hey, that other person, it's that you don't like what they do, like, or the thing that they did, and it's like because the thing they did is the sin, and that's what, and the Lord says it is good to hate. It's like cling, hate evil, cling to what is good. You're allowed to, but the thing is, people, God made people, and like, and we are good. Like, we call no one good; he's good alone. But just meaning, it's good when someone accepts the truth. It's good when someone makes an attempt to live in and share that truth with others. So, I mean, you don't get perfection. You get a spirit. You get the spirit that doesn't want you. People do that's it. It's like, what do you get? Like, how do you it's like, like, what changes when you're saved? And it's like, or whatever. People go, how do you know you're saved? And it's like, well, I mean, and that's the other thing. Can sociopaths be saved? And it's like, that's an interesting question. That is, oh, by the way, that is an interesting philosophical question. Kind of as a sociopath, it's like, I know I need the Lord. It would not. It's like, or the psychopath and the sociopath and their relationship with spirituality. Oh, I see. I see what the Holy Spirit says. Interesting. But yeah, because and also if I'm projecting into other people, it's like I'm disliking, and it's like, what would it be that like other people too? If I've got all this hate toward other people built up, what is it? It's actually probably not those people that I hate. It's the thing that they did that I am projecting upon their person, and therefore going, I do not like that person. That being said, the same thing could be used to accuse me of why people rightly, why other people are like, you know what, none of it's right. If someone is like, I don't like you because of the sin you do, I can't state no. All I can say is I believe I'm forgiven for that. Right, the sin that you did do, though, right? Yes, that I do. Not that you didn't do, and wish you didn't, but the sin that you actually did. And it's like, yeah, the sin that I do. And it's like, okay, so you have reason if you hate those people because of what they do. You, in your own logic, think it would be logical for all these other people to hate you as well for what you do. And then in comes you, were it not for your belief that we are all under the grace of the Lord, which you believe in that you have, and therefore you're going to offer it to others because all that can change is your want to, because all have sinned and come short. So you're like, yeah, so in order not to always be hating on everybody else, I like to issue others a grace that God issues me. And then it's like, hey, others. It's like when I'm like, hey, I don't like whatever other people don't do. And then it's like somebody that you care about or it's like does something that you don't like as well. You can separate the thing that they, it's like, it's hard to think. I think you get it though. It's like, because if like you really sit there and you hate and you hate and you hate and you're like, but I have really good reason. And it's like, okay, wait, but it's like, it's not just different. It's like, wait, you have a lot of hates open. This is a lot of open wounds. And it's like, and the thing is, I would think that freely hating, like going, like in yourself going, hate, like opening that up and allowing yourself to, okay, allowing the spirit of, even though you're allowed to hate, but it's like, but it's supposed to be towards sin. Sin is not a person. In fact, the Lord would be like, well, like, put it towards me. It's like, Lord, towards you, Lord. And it's like, yeah, I became a sin for that. So if you want to think about somebody, then go ahead and think about me. It's like, actually, that would work. It's like, Lord, because you're the one that took it. It's like, right, okay, so my anger is sin. It's like, or that I did myself, I disappointed myself. He's like, right, I'm feeling. The Lord's like, give that to me. It's like, what, the disappointment I feel in myself? The Lord's like, yeah, give that to me too. It's like, okay, Lord, the disappointment I feel in myself. I serve that to you as a meal that you're going to eat, Lord. okay, eat my cancer when it turns black. It's like I can no longer. It's like I'm angry about this. I'm angry about that. And I'm angry, and I know, and it's like, and you can't go and just angry. It's like, no, shrink it. It's like, I'm angry at other people. And then, like, oh, wait, and I guess myself too. Because why am I not happy? Why am I not letting it's like, oh, for even allowing yourself to not be, it's like, you're going to be like, ah. Because you can admit to yourself that it's actually, I guess, crazy, but it's just not crazy. It's not what you would have wanted for yourself to always be angry and upset. And I'm just saying, I found this way that works for me enough that I'm literally sharing it in public or at a public forum with you. I found that I often, like each day, I can end up, blah, blah, and then it's like I'm generating negative feelings, and usually, if I get like a nervous feeling toward performing or doing something like that, like it's always good to have a little bit of nervous, but I mean nervousness. It's kind of like just like when I look inside myself, and when I time to meditate, when I'm gonna like pray and stuff like that. But I'm like, hey, before I just contact with God, let me see if there's anything like right out in the open here that I'm kind of doing. And when I find that, hey, I'm really upset, at a human being, or like really desiring, and you know what I mean, because like, this, or let's say something in the news, right? And it's like I'm feeling like this and this, and Lord, the feelings that are with them are just of violence, meaning there's no thoughts of sharing your word. There's just thoughts of, I hope I get a chance to destroy that which did that thing, as opposed to the thoughts of, I hope that salvation comes to that person who did that awful thing, and that they are placed where they can never commit such an act again. Now, as much for their own benefit as societies, but if not even their own, I don't think that's where our primary concern should be. It's understanding that it's for those who have not chosen to be violent, or whatever it is the person did. You know what I mean? Like that, you're hoping that they receive forgiveness for, and just in the same way that whatever sins that we have leave us falling short of the glory of God. But I just mean that's, so that I'm getting that right. So in our own, so that's where I am. If you're like, where are you pulling your joy from lately? Where are you pulling, like, what's the reason for your countenance, or what's the reason for your peace? And it's just realizing like that's really like is the position, from which, like when you work on, like exercise, when you're like spiritually, Lord, because I think everybody can understand if you actually physically think of like the person that like you would dislike the most, or like that the least, and it's like specifically for the reason of it blocking you spiritually the most, it having the most hold or lock on you, or binding you most to the world, and to say like just the way of the world, like the way of like vengeance or this or that, like. And that would be it probably too, where if you looked at your life just on with a spiritual lens, where am I most hooked into the world? Like, where you hate the most, like where there's a connection of you. Yeah. Like where your emotion is the strongest towards someone else. And it's, and it probably show you where, like, the parallels between where you thought the love that you had was greater than other things. You know what I mean? So, it's definitely something to examine. So, like it's meaning, like even as you watch me, even like in like the last couple of years, like in the last like whatever 6 months or whatever, in dealing with is there any like of that? That was just like anger in me that is there because I'm holding on to like that person. I'm angry they did, or I'm angry what they did, angry that they did. Like I really took time to sit back and and do like work like someone doing physical exercise on in my spirit. Um, because that's the thing. It's almost like because it feels like they're succeeding, depending on how they're doing it, somebody's succeeding who has done you wrong or something like that. It's like as if we can't get past it, or in order just to get to a position of clarity. And then it's like for myself, it's usually like I want to get to that position where I feel I'm connecting with like the Holy Spirit, so that what I'm speaking, what I'm sharing, and what I'm doing is what I guess, as much as what I'm supposed to be doing. Though I do not believe it's necessarily, I think that meaning what you're supposed to be doing, I do not believe it is so cut and dry as if you, from this moment here, could look forward, could look through a portal from a year from now to what you're doing. I do not believe that the Lord could show you, well, if you follow the path that I have set for your life, you will be here at this location doing this. I do not believe that's how it is. Like the God's like, oh, you're doing it. I believe it's your own, more of like it can be a combination of both. But I mean, it's more the path. The spiritual path is more of like the spiritual path of you than specifically because Christ has defeated the world, like because Christ has overcome the world. That which needs to be done is a work in us primarily, and then the work being the Spirit working in us is, I believe, what the Word would say. Most assuredly, the word Christ says that is what I would like others to see as your testimony. The commission is you want them to say, "Hey, this is my reason. This is my reason." It's like the Lord says, when asked. That's the other thing too. I do believe like witnessing this and that. Okay, but it's like the Lord's like, I want you to shine, and then so you'll have a reach. The Lord's like, they'll ask because it says no one comes to the Spirit unless they're drawn by it. So the Lord's more like, you do the thing that I'm telling you, and then as I draw them to me, you do this, you do that. Like just meaning, be ready to give your reason for why it is. And it's like, well, it was really like, people used to say, even though still it's like, yeah, well, people are still the reason for my shit, but it's like of course people are going to be the reason for it, but the thing is, you can include to that person. So, people are the reasons for my what's up, but including myself mostly. People can relate to that enough that they're like, all right, you sound sane. Let's have a coffee or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, people are just like the usual. They're my problem, but people that's the most problem is myself. So, I guess I got it in the right perspective. People can appreciate that. They're like, yeah, you do. Or just I don't like people that don't have. You know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna do? And I'm like, well, I mean, all I can really do is look at, let's change it. Like, look at myself or work on myself. And it's like, oh, yeah, can't make other decisions for them. So being the change that you want to see in the world, yeah, rings true. So when you resonate with that and you're living it more than just speaking, what you're practicing more so than what you're preaching even. So in order that what you're doing is your preaching, so that what you're doing becomes your preaching. What you're doing hopefully is, not judging, but at the same time, making decisions. Other people saying, it's like, no, but you did make a decision clearly and decisively, but you weren't rude. Like, you didn't make the other person feel like less because of it. You actually just did your thing, and your spirit was attractive because it seemed freer than ours in what you did with your time there. Well, the rest of us were bound to that thing. You weren't, but at the same time, you didn't. You kind of made it look as if, man, you guys are no more bound than me, except what is that then? And it made it more apparent than if you were rude and said to everybody, well, I've got to go do the thing that I want to do now because it's my free time, while the rest of you guys' time is bound to this thing that, it's probably going to suck, but you're all, I speak on it enough. The form of this world, lie, father, Satan, is it father of this world? Like, it was a liar. So, the form of his world, the form that passes away is, well, I mean, it's the same with everybody. It's slavery, trying to take away people's choice, control. It's like, well, how do I know what these people are going to do? Well, you want to know beforehand if they're going to do, but you don't, because people at any moment can retain their choice. So trying to get that out of people the most is what a spirit that is not right is going to try and do. Well, I mean, it's like the word is rule and control. It is the Ozzy Osbourne crazy train. It's like rule and control. It's like how come Ozzy said that, rule and control, and it's like and those that do it for the sake of it, not for the sake of the love of servitude. All right, so that's enough. That's enough preaching, and I'm starting to hear back to other people that are reading the word and stuff. Because I realize other people when I do my thing, when I'm out there, typing in chats and stuff like that, when people say stuff, and I'm like, okay, here's my thing. I understand when I type in, here's what Jesus says in Matthew, this or this and that. People aren't necessarily like rushing to their Bibles to see if the statement I just said was true. But like any time that I'm speaking, but the thing is, when I I'm talking to the show or whatever, if I speak to the person running the show, when they read what I said, they're usually like, no, that's like because the thing that I write is true. They'll usually be like if you want, like they'll read it with it. That's what I mean. The word of God. When he said, "My sheep hear my voice," it's like if the numbers aren't there, people should still recognize those who are recognizing. And that's the other thing too. Those who the Holy Spirit is like around and working with. It's like when they're like somebody who's like, "Hey, I'm for the truth." When they're like, "What are you saying?" Hey, that's true. It's like that's valid. And it's like that's all I'm going for. And that's the other thing too. If somebody else isn't as much of a scholar or hasn't delved as much into certain texts as I have to know that what certain things say, so to them they're just like, hey, I naturally agree with what you're saying. It's like right on. While others are sometimes in a position where it's because they've been cleverly deceived, and they're and the thing is, if they're in that position where they've been gatekeeping because they were deceived, and the thing is, I think we all, myself included, when I find out a new truth, or when I find out something like because I'm online and somebody goes, hey, did you know that this person is this, or like another spiritual thing that was like right there in the open, and then maybe I thought a little bit, maybe I hadn't thought of it even yet. Does that mean, I'm just trying to say, if I want to go, I guess I didn't have the Holy Spirit because I didn't see that, let's say that because I wasn't saying, let's say, let me just throw anything out there. Let's say a certain politician, high up or something, or a certain person is, we start figuring out, something more about the fallen angels or something, about their activity, and their activities start to be more apparent to those of us that are discerning, right? And it being a number that they've crunched. You're just saying the enemy's crunched those just the enemy of the truth. He's crunched, and he's like, it doesn't matter. Like, they're just meaning their voice. We've looked on a chart, and even if they'll only have an impact of 1% at the highest. Just meaning, and the thing is, now the Lord, like, his impact is total. Like, you know, it's like, you're like, yeah, but the Lord, yeah, when the Lord does his thing, it's total. But the deception during like a little season and whatnot, I believe is total as well. So they've deceived themselves totally. So I guess I'm just disagreeing. Like, what deception is deception, and where they're deceived, and where, and in so much as someone is willing to like receive, like, or just like a statement of, oh, like, okay, like the Word of God says that, and it's like, yes, and it's often not perceived in the world, or it's often something that's hidden. Well, the Lord doesn't say doesn't say, oh, the people of the world, yeah, they're certainly not clever. Like, yeah, so you don't, you know, it's like, you don't have to, you know, really pay attention too much, because, you know, chances of getting fooled or getting taken off isn't very good at all. Or does the Lord say, no, be shrewd, because, like, first of all, the devil is out there trying to deceive you. But first of all, he's trying to, number one, he's trying to scare you. So number one, he's trying to bind you, like trying to get you to not make those spiritual moves the Lord asks you to move, because he's trying to want you to be bound in fear. Like, you're thinking, if I don't, you know, if I move around, like, then the other Eternals, like the negative Eternal, this is how it works. They're going to see me, and they're going to come around and bother me, as opposed to, no, they're going to come around, bother you on the schedule so that you stay frozen unless you get going and get moving. What do you mean? But then you're going to get attacked. It's like, yeah, the Bible does say, the Word of God says, yeah, you will, if you do work for the Lord and obey him, you will get attacked. But it doesn't say that that won't. Here's the thing. It doesn't say, yeah, and that's going to take a big old hit point. Like, it's like you got your 100 points, or your hit points. How much did that attack of hate or the devil take out of me? And the Lord's like, take out of you? That's not how it works. You stood up and took it. I'm leaving you with more faith. I'm going to give you more joy. It doesn't, like, and if you're like, oh, that's how that worked. It's like, yes. Think of as well Job, when he was like, yep, he went through his persecution and his suffering, and the Lord certainly did not leave him in that position. And then the Lord increased. It wants you to notice that, increased his joy beyond the level, and it mentioned that specifically, like, so you would understand. It's like the Lord blessed him beyond that of which he was harmed. Like, you know, it doesn't mean that the harm wasn't harm, what was going on. It just right. So the Spirit of the Lord, where there's liberty and there's freedom, as opposed to, you know, and there's choice, because where there's liberty, and so where people are, like, you know, always trying to bind, and that's the thing too, like in the scripture, where it's like, where it says, hey, do not bind, do not bind yourself unequally, or not yoke yourself unequally with the world. It's like, well, how would one do that, Lord? And it's like, well, by the Lord, and the Lord knows exactly. And here's the thing: the Lord knows exactly what He's talking about in the Word. Like, it doesn't like finesse around or like use English, like playing billiards. Like, oh, we're playing English billiards. It's like, oh, what spin did the Lord put on the word? It's like, the Lord, no, it's a contract. It's contracts and forms. Yeah, they'll mess you up. And if in business, if you get involved, yeah, they're going to end up taking all your money, because they're going to have written in the contract, if you do this, if you break it, this. When those things can happen. So, and it's honorable that they can have the other person say, hey, those mistakes can happen. It'd be honorable. We understand. You'll fix it and make it right because you're an honorable dude. It's like, that's right. That's how come you're dealing with me in the first place, which is why I will not sign a contract. I will affirm you chose me to get the job done because I'm the one that you would like to be standing there at the end because of my reputation and work. Therefore, I'm staking my reputation and work on the line with every job I do. And therefore, I will not give you because what did Tommy Boy say? And the guarantee is only as good as the box it comes in. You know, I'd rather take a man's word for it, which is what the Word of God says. They look at the man, take it. It says, what can he offer you when he gives you his word? Because that is how. And make sure the word says it's like understanding. If the person's reputation does not have good credit, then neither does his word. That's what it means by when you judge rightly. It doesn't mean that you're saying, oh, this person's not saved or this person's going to hell. It's like, no, it just means it's like this person, when I spoke to his creditors, 2 out of the 3 guys said he pays, but in his own good time. And they didn't insult him. They said, yes, he pays in his own good time. And that's telling you all that you would need to without insult. Because before, they used to have those laws as well, like they do now, about you can't insult someone, this and that, because it was in the higher echelons when you're thinking, well, people in the lower, and it's when people in the lower echelons, by the way, call the police about little things like this, you're like, what? But it's like, yeah, but they need those in the upper anyway. So, yeah, when giving offenses and this and that, and this is the other thing. Adopting a policy. It's like I'm supposed to adopt a policy of just you can discern. Oh, just meaning. It doesn't mean being a pushover or this or that. Like when the Lord, at the same time, the Lord, like the Bible could say, it's like lend whoever asks, but a borrower nor a lender be. Give to anyone who asks, but a borrower nor a lender be. It's like why? And it's like, does it mean does it mean a fool, or it's like is it like a, and it's like or the beggar. But the thing is, any of these things you can ask yourself and discern. But yeah, when I go through, I find, like I said, like my thing, a lot of things is I read the Bible because I've read it a lot. It's like um, what Christ was saying and what his words were. It's they can be like, oh, this, that, this, that, this, that. You really get like it comes through as more as no, it's like one, it's like a thing, like one thing. It's like it's a thing that he was doing. Like, I mean, like the whole thing. Like people are like, oh, what are you trying to talk about? And it's like, no, it's because like there is a thing of the world, and there's a way of the world. Like there's even a movie called The Way of the World. Yeah, there like really is, and there is a way of the Lord, and they are different. The thing would, and that I've stated before, when I remember talking with the philosophy of Star Trek and things like that in the future, and of like, communism and socialism. People, it's like, what's the idea? And it's like being like, oh, the only type of socialism that's good would be like, if there is a benevolence that is ever present in everyone's life. Like if you're like, oh, when does this work? And it's like, okay, certain types of like only work if there's a benevolence in everyone's life. Like, meaning if everyone's need and want was taken care of. And that's the thing too. That's when they're like, oh yeah, well that's what the state does. We take care of everybody's needs and wants. See, that's what they say. Well, there you go. That's working socialism. And it's like only it's not possible. Because we're not robot, like the same thing. We're human beings, not numbers. That is like, oh well, this worked for this person is going to work for you, or this worked for this, or this it worked for you. So like, it doesn't work like that. They tried it, their whole thing, and it's like, why? Because people don't want to work, and then it's like, wait, because it's like, oh, we actually want to serve people, and that goes back to people are trying to say, well, there isn't an actual spirit working against. And that's the thing. Some people just want to go, well, there's not an actual spirit that's actually trying to do what's wrong. There's just, it's just, except that's the thing. When there actually is in the mix, when, like, when people get up in the morning, somebody's like, I'm going to get up and do, the labors that I have to do, and even if they're like with a thankful heart, and understanding that there is a spirit in the world that is opposed to that spirit, and it's like though it does not make sense, and though it is in error, and it would be like living in that error and living and practicing a lie. Right? And you might be sitting there going, well, but they're giving up real love, right? But the person might have also never experienced it, or maybe they did, and then they got jaded, and so jaded enough that now they've been able to be used, right, by the one that came to them and said, I will take away your pain if you of the one that jaded you, the one that called themselves love, and give you the power to take your revenge, like, not only on them but on everything. Like, depending on how they met there. And it's like, okay, that's usually the deal, in one way or another, in one seductive way or another. That's the other thing. It could come in many different ways, like just like any type of corruption, even just the fact that like a son was going to be good, but then because of this or another, corruption or whatever else, they were like, I really want to take revenge, as opposed to leaving as opposed to not making war because they're not. You don't need to. They're not as strong as you. This or that, and you're like, and you'll lose men, and the thing that you already have them beaten, but they got away with the thing that humiliates you. But everyone knowing, imagine that in the other kingdom they've humiliated the king. Except it's a type of thing where there's nothing you can do. If there's something I can do about it, right? You could place yourself in danger. But you could play, you could place yourself. And here's the thing: here's the thing, the king. What would you gain by here's the thing, killing that person's family? What would you gain by whatever the physical revenge? You know what I mean? The type of on people, because it's like somebody who chose to do something that's bad, something that's wrong. You know what I mean? And the king not being able to do that, just saying, but it's mine to take revenge. Yep. It's like still going out and doing doing something, and it's like out of revenge, when it's like it only gives more weight to the deed that was done against you. Like, if that makes sense. I'm like, what in the taking of revenge? Everyone knows you can't do that to the king. He lessened himself, and it's like, in some cases, yes. In some cases, certain insults are to bounce off your armor. Even if someone goes, I think that penetrated your armor. Unless there is someone in your family whom the insult is still, unless there's something that actually needs to be done. And here's why. You're about to go, oh, give me an example. A good joke that's true, that someone made up, that the only thing it serves to do is make everybody laugh because it's true, and it's at your expense. It's like, now, does it make you a bad king? You're like, well, no, I'm not perfect, or whatever it is that your job is, or whatever it is that your nobility comes from, or whatever it is that your honor comes from. Doesn't mean that everything that gave you that honor is now ripped away. Well, maybe if it was all because of bullcrap anyway, and because of pomp and circumstances, yes, it would be. But if it was built up because of, it's because of your steady work ethic and or whatnot, how you've treated other people. So it's funny, but it's only because it's true. But it's a type of thing where if you could laugh too, other people would be like, oh, no, it is true. It's funny. Thanks for being such a good sport about it. You don't have, it's like, You know, like that could be your attitude, and people would be like, "Oh, big of you, big of you." It's like, no, you really got him good. But that's the type of thing where a joke, yeah, it got you good, and there's nothing you can do about it. Meaning, there's nothing you can do about the people sharing the joke and the fact that they are all going to laugh. It's just whether or not you can say, well, it doesn't make me happy the situation happened, but you know, I don't reject the mirth, the joy. I don't reject the mirth that's brought into my kingdom. You know, I don't prescribe his act to anyone. It's like, but I don't. But you can say, but I also don't necessarily not. Like just meaning, you know, and people just meaning, oh, what a good sport. You know what I mean? And it's like, and it, but the meaning is someone's like going to go, oh, you got another good ribbing of the king. And it's like, well, you really took the first one in stride. So now you're just being rude. And I like the king. You know, so I don't save your joke. You know what I mean? No, the first one was funny, but don't make it a series of things because you know what I mean. Like that's the thing too. If the guy's like, oh, but I mean, I got invited here, I got invited there. Yeah, and you told your joke, it was funny. Okay, but leave it now. Why? Well, because for the king to let it go once, yeah, that was cool. But now you're making a nuisance of yourself. Off your head. No, but for real, it's one of those things where it's like it's nothing if you just let it go, king, or whatever, or whoever. And in fact, it takes away a little bit of the ability of people to even the desire to mock you, because it's way more desirable to mock somebody who flips out, who like somebody who chimps out for real. So if you're not going to chimp out and you're just going to go, oh, that was a good one. Hey, you got any others? And all of a sudden the guy's like, well, in court right here, right now. Yeah, I mean that first one was good. I'm not kidding. Go ahead, tell another one. Well, I don't have one ready. Oh, just the one, just the one, eh? Maybe perhaps you think of one later. Yes, Your Honor. You know, takes away a bit of their power. No, great joke. Tell one now in front of us all. Well, it's a lot easier to tell these jokes when you're not when I'm not standing in your presence. Oh, no, please go ahead. No, I'm not going to. It's like, that's right, you're not. Which is why you shouldn't have in the first place, right? Yes. Okay. But still, you told your joke. It was funny. Everybody enjoyed it. And like I said, I'm not about to take the mirth back of the kingdom. But, you know, especially if maybe it needed to be said because then it doesn't get built up. Ooh, oh, ooh, oh, ooh. No, your joke kind of dissipated that. So actually, the next day when I come out, I was like, whoa, the barometer is a little bit less. You know? But that's the thing. If I were the kind of king where I want that barometer like that and everybody a foot off the ground with stress, you know, that'd be something I want. But if it was like, no, I would rather have people that can actually tell me if the enemy's at my gate rather than being afraid because I'll pull up my sword and kill that guy. What? They're at the gate? How did you let that happen? Ugh. It's like they're not going to bother telling me when they're at my gate, are they? Especially if I blame the guy that tells me, you know. So, like, anyway, so in that same way, the guy that told the joke, right, would have been telling the joke. You let me know of something I didn't know. Like you know, my wife told me people liked that my new jacket, but it's as stupid as I thought it looked. It's like Mr. Such and Such, cheers. Oh, oh, oh. There you go, right? You know, it's like actually, just saying, you know. Yeah, scapegoat. There you go, Albert. Yeah. A laughing stoic. There you are. No, that's right. You get it. You get it. Right on. Yeah, take away the pain in her story. That's the other thing. It's like, are you hating? It's like, nope, nope, don't hate the guy either. Oh, really? Okay, well, he's taking it really good. The court awards you the money. Exactly. It's like, you know, if you could pull this off in court, it's like you can. It's like, oh, No, that's right. It's like rather than the revenge, I'd rather have the money that I'm justly owed for my pain and suffering. Well, in America, that can happen. In America, that can happen. And the thing is, too, like, oh, here's the other thing, too, like, with the way that I think, I understand, like, in America, like, I can go down and I can do lawyer work. I can do it in Canada, too. And the thing is, but no, I could set up a thing. And they're like, wait, don't you have to pass it, whatever? And it's like, you can, but you can also just be the assistant that they're like, go do the meeting, do the thing with them, and then have them sign the thing. It's like, no, just meaning it's like, because you need somebody that understands what's probably actually going to happen if the crown says this, the person says that, what's going to happen if they have this, just like, I've shown you guys before, I've just dealt with it enough. I've dealt with it enough that I understand what's going to happen. And there's no other way to get that other than with like a lot of experience. And that would be the thing. If somebody was like, how did you get your hours? And it's like the hard way. Ooh. But I've also seen that there's no way to explain it. There's like very, very few other people that you get to convince that you can convince of something without seeing it themselves. But, it's balance. But someone who's willing, like you were saying, to put their money where their mouth is of it, it's like, no, I am smart enough to know that I want correct representation. Well, that wouldn't be me either. But if they're like, I'm going to take your advice, and you state that this is that what I need is this, and this, yes, because I've been through it before, not once, not twice, not 3 times, but hundreds. And they're like, okay. Especially like when you also tell them, it's like, and here's like, it's like, if they're like, is there anything that can happen on the side? And you're like, yeah, I can even troubleshoot. It's like the things that can only happen on the side are this, and this. But then when you can tell them, but in your situation, because of this, that won't happen because of this, and this, that won't happen because of this and this. And that's the thing, only experience you can, like, it's like, because you can answer all that. Like if they can say, how come you can tell me what will happen in this situation for sure? It's like, because I've been in the situation where this has happened and that's happened. And it's been a situation where this has been like, experience. It's like I've seen this many matches play out where there's only like where it's the same. It's like this is anyway. Like it's not like I can tell somebody exactly. Like hardly ever. Nothing ever goes to like so many few things go to a jury. Like for you to be sitting there and saying, well, this is what the jury's going to do. That's where I bow out. It's like, oh, you're taking it to trial then? It's like, well, I probably need to do more hours of looking at trial outcomes and stuff. But I mean, I could tell you what the percent I can. I can give you a rough estimate for sure. Oh, this happened that, but I wouldn't be able to say. And my expertise lead me to tell you to, because my expertise would tell me in the first place for you to not take it to trial. I'm in Canada. It'd be really hard for you to find 12 people that don't agree with the government up here, or 10 or 8, whatever you got to do. You'd be hard pressed. But depending on where you live, that's the other thing too, right? See, that's the other thing too, though. But knowing if you live in terms of money, like no, here, absolutely. This is political. Anyway, okay, 2.5. All right. Well, it's Monday, right, or whatever. I think so. All right. Tomorrow I do my stuff. We go downtown. I mean, I could still. I'm debating whether I go out and a little bit of groceries. But the thing is, I don't really need to. No, just meaning I can do it tomorrow. Like, it's sunny out still. It's gonna be sunny for a couple hours. I could do whatever. See, okay, that's the thing. You know what most needs to get done? I need to take, okay, that's the thing, because it doesn't need to be, right? But the things that could be done, but it's only like, okay, I've got to fix it up. So until something goes like boom and falls, it's like, okay, I'll clean that up. I'll do that. It's like, I almost don't want to touch it, but like, okay, right now, I've got a couple of these things sitting around here. I could take this bag here. Okay, that's what I mean. Okay, I have got bags, but you might be like, okay, it's like, right, I could take those bags out. Like, right. Like, yeah, but I'm not. That's what I mean. I could take, yeah, there's a bag there and a bag there. But you know, but they're bagged. You know, that's the thing, they're bagged well. It's like, I want to turn and show you over there, like beside the fridge. There is an awesome, I want to show you. No, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. All right. Here's an awesome statue of, see, look, it's like, all right. And like my little bookshelf. I could do like reports from that of like, you know, my movie reviews or whatever on VHSs. Like, that's Chariots of Fire. A little Chuck Norris there, just to honor him. Right, he passed away the other day, so I set up the Chuck Norris thing there. Now there's some dry goods there on the counter. There's my refrigerator. Now look at that monstrosity beside the fridge. Now and underneath the dartboard. And you might go, hey, that's some nice color, man. I know. That's the thing, right? I'm like, I enjoy looking at it. Because when you're a kid, right, all different kind of candy or whatever, just look at that. Like the color. No, that's right. Okay. Now, they're all sealed. Like you really look at that, you're like, wait, what? It's all boxes. They're all sealed. There's no like, it's like there's no garbage there. And you might like, what's garbage? Wet stuff that's wet and smelly. You know, stuff that thing like, okay, so it's like what's up there, and it's like you can see it's receptacles of things, right? And I have them strategically set, and you're like, wait, what's that sitting on? Because if you think about it, you're like, well, no, is there a table? There's no table there. I have that sitting on nothing. It's like there's a drum kit there, a Nintendo whatever drum kit. So I mean, you might be like, wait, there'd only be like, you know, okay. So on top of like, so I think, so I have used a pizza box underneath the drum kit as a base, leaning against the wall. Yeah, okay. So base drum kit, electronic drum kit. There is pizza box, and on top of that, and you're like, what's up? And it's like, it looks like, you know, an empty box of Ritz, you know, with the bag out of it, of course, you know. And an empty Eggo box, you know, as you can see there. But either way, but now, okay, but I also have the box of bags, like a huge box of clear bags, and the bags are like 7 feet or whatever. Anyway, they're huge, and I have that ready to. I just put that in there and then take those out or whatever. But yeah. I have, oh, I have that. But it's like until like it falls, like it, okay, it's a Jenga thing, right? Until it falls. And then I'd be like, okay, now I'm gonna, you know, just put it. No, but seriously, just put the items in the back. And I'd be like, what do you mean? No, because you're like, it's important. But like there are dumpster like out back, so and I have like the large bag. Just go there, and take it out, take it out. Not show you the large bag that I got. I can show you. So do I look good enough? see, the nice large. And I bought those so I could take it at 7 minutes. I could set that on there even. There. Now it's like, oh, what is it? Oh, it's going to go in there. It goes in there, obviously. Obviously, it goes in there. And that's it. You know. It's just my dry goods. You know. Fruit Loops. Fruit Loops and crispers and whatnot on it. Copy of Pale Rider, like one does. You know, I'm sure you have a copy of Pale Rider. And Denzel Washington's Return of the Titans. You know what I mean? You gotta have a copy of that around somewhere. Well, Disney, right? You gotta Disney adult, right? You know what I mean? Death Wish too. You gotta have a little Charles Bronson up there, and then like bum 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 bum. Paul Simon concert, Graceland concert from Africa. You know that. Time of the day. There. Right. It's like, oh, hey, Mother B. Look at this. I got whatever. Stuff is ready to go. I'm able to set that on there to be able to play that, you know. Make it funny. Or whatever, you know. Just a couple more feet, you know. Go and set it down. Like, that's the thing, man. Like, always just like, wow. Drums on that. See, I'm over here now. Now I'm over here. Well, the light's good. A reverb for days. I like my books. I like my books. You know, everybody's already seen many different ways of that. It's just, it was the this that was impressive. You know what I mean? It was the that was impressive. You know. Yeah. You know, I could try and show the Atari and the different stuff like that, but I really showcase them in the movies. You know. Yeah, you guys are heading out. It's been a good 3 hours. Oh, almost. Come on, 2 hours. You know. I'd say that little piano stuff, we ended it intimately. He got seen a little bit more of the apartment. I got up and moving. You know, I think for dinner I might have like some tuna and I got these fresh pickles. I really like the juice, and then, you know, yum yum. Like, no, the pickles and tuna is num num. I do like the larger slugs. You know, grocery pick up tomorrow. I'm out of salt. I don't use much salt, so I found myself out of salt. And I'm not running off to grab up salt. You know. Oh, I got a little bit of that, you know. Anyway, and I'm out of ketchup. I'm down to some Oreos. And as you can see, I'm starving. I don't know how long this is gonna last. God help me. No, but I got craft dinner. I got KD, and I even got some rice up there if I wanted to. I tell myself that the other day. I was like, you know, you could even. I need to buy a new pot, but I've got a dish, and I could anyway. I had a good time. Never hung out with me. Thanks for hanging out with me. I've lost a little bit more, like just general, like we got like fear of anxiety or nervousness, like yeah, I feel like I'm getting a little bit more in my creative flow, but Well, use discernment, yeah, I mean, use it in the right direction, so. And I believe I am. And then when I deliver the word, not delivering it from a place of like anger and like harsh, like, like a harsh, like retort, because like that kind word turneth away, like rather like, or like if I want to introduce somebody to something that, hey, no, brother, the Lord said, um, just coming at it without animosity, without a, hey, I feel you're deliberately trying to, hurt the truth, or, you know what I mean? I think you're, you know, not attributing somebody automatically with like like the false, like with the false heart of an abuser, like just because they may be in error on a spiritual matter that is all of vital importance. But I mean, um, there might not have been any animosity meant on their end. They could just very well, like, it's like somebody else might not have even written a lesson that they prepared. Just what? Oh, let me look at that. Why? It's like, oh, because I didn't prepare the lesson. I just uploaded it or whatever. Right? All right. um, and not that I won't like come on and give like and speak on different things and like discernment of things again, or I will when I feel the spirit lead. Like I'll definitely come on and speak on different things. Yeah. All right. Peace out. There we go. I'm just working it out so it's around 3 hour mark or whatever. Um, like I'm almost like I'm like also entertained, or like I'm seeing people taking up like the torch for like the truthing, and or just like speaking the truth, and I'm I'm enjoying and I'm encouraged by their by their efforts. Um, and like with the revealing of like a lot of the things, I just say with a lot of evil and deceptive dealings going on in upper echelons of society, I think it's really put a push on like for just I suppose maybe just for, well, I shouldn't just say like this. Maybe it hasn't. Maybe it's just for me, like, or what have I noticed? Like I guess I've noticed, okay, just that because of that, maybe it's just I'm just noticing it's more popular to be for what's right in general, even if they're not. Yeah, maybe that's just what I'm noticing is that even though people are still like people, it's refreshing to see people that are even in the world they'll make an effort to. I guess that's it too, right? It's just how they're gonna label or how they play what they do usually all the time, as opposed to specifically I don't know. Well, I do actually. It's just that I can't make their decisions for them. I just know that it's certainly become like not as popular as it has seemed in the past. Maybe that's the other thing. Like, but no, but it certainly seemed like in the past, 17, 18, 19, or nobody cared if you came out and you're like, yay, the devil, or whatever, right? And it's like, and now the people that were doing that, like at least what gets reported is the people that have been like, no, I'm not doing that anymore. Even though there are people that are still doing it, obviously. You've still got your JD's, Beyonce, you've still got your rap guys or whatever that are like, and that's a thing. But you don't know if they're going to come out tomorrow being like, oh, that's the other thing. It's like, if they would, they like, it's like like Jay-Z or whatever, and like, or Beyonce, are they going to be coming out going, we've renounced anything and like symbolisms and everything in order to just stay true to our faith in our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Like, and the thing is like, I'm not going. It's like they did. Hey, like here's the thing. It's like, oh, I don't believe. It's like if they want, like, it's like go for it. Like that's the thing. It's like, oh, I resent that. It's like I resent that. Like if like Beyonce comes out and goes, read your actual Bible. And it's like, well, I resent that. She's supposed to burn. Like, no, like that's the like, it's like, I'm just saying, I didn't see that happening anytime in the last 5 years. Now I've watched I think, what is it, Doja Cat? I think I've seen a couple other artists that were, like, they weren't that ingrained in the industry and finances already, but there were a couple artists that were that did that, but yeah, it's noticeable. Like, and that's the other thing, at the end all be all of everything, where it's like people can notice now, hey, there's there's compromise in like the industry, like always was, but on top of just the industry being, oh, the industry, well, the industry always been the industry. But no, now there definitely seems to be, well, I think what the word revelations actually means, like, it's not actually a good thing. It's like the negative thing. So with the revelations that have come, over the past while, the truths that come with it, right? It's like, what do they want the most? Like, not the person in the world, or the person that they would think is like the world, when it's like it's an industry, but it's like they would be like, right, it's a very worldly industry. What makes it a worldly industry? And it's like, and then what makes it like that world? And it's like, what's the form of the world? And it's like, in the industry, what's the form of? It's like contractual law. Like, right. And what do they do? They make sure they got a person with, like, locked out. Like what? They can't do it. They can't do what? They can't do what? They can't do what? They can't do what? It's like make their own choices. So the first thing the world tried to do is, what would that be called? Put you choose it. So getting you to choose slavery is what the world is, a way of the world. So getting you to choose it, getting you to choose your own slavery is the way of the world. Boom. Dot it with an I. Cross the T. Dot it with an I. Cross the T. The way of the world. But it's a movie. Already. How can I tell? And you'd be like, oh, what's the movie about? That, what I just said. contractual and how it parallels the spiritual in the industry. So it's all a spiritual parallel into the business, into the way of the world, and that's the way of the world. The movie, the song, the hat, the shirt. That's just the way it is, baby. Yeah. There it is. All right. Peace out.